Hello and welcome everybody. Today we're talking about what I'm going to call the high roller table of poker chip collectibles. Now, I'm just going to hit 4 high roller chips, more expensive chips that sold in August 2021. And those are kind of some limitations there, okay? There's some honorable mentions that I think are interesting for different reasons. Now, you guys know me, I love collecting poker chips. Mostly it's just like sentimental nonsense, right? Like the Metallica poker chips or the Shania Twain poker chips. The really scarce stuff is fascinating though, so I love following it on eBay. So let's talk about some of the listings that sold in August of 2021. Number 4, we have the Silver Dollar Saloon, or as I call it, the Salon, the Silver Dollar Salon, THC mold 1965. Okay, this sold on the 23rd of August for $750. It was just open bidding, bid all the way up to $750. This is a really interesting chip because I don't see a lot of Silver Dollar Salon chips out there, right? It's just not something that is like super prevalent or popular. And the THC mold, oh, it's beautiful back then. And it's a really good looking chip. It's in really good condition. We're going to talk about kind of that more here in a minute. So number 4, Silver Dollar Saloon. The Dunes $5 chip. Okay, now this was kind of a poor grade chip. If you look back, there was actually a really high grade chip that sold earlier in the year. And this one though there was an asking price of $1,249. But somebody made a best offer for $850 and that was accepted. Okay, now it's very common to see that huge discrepancy, right? Lots of times people will have a chip and they're not sure how much it's worth. It's like they look at the condition, they're like, I'm not sure, is this going to sell for a lot or not much? And so they list it for an outrageous price. Like we see this in the sports card world all the time, where people will pull like a one of one Michael Jordan autograph, Kobe Bryant autograph, and they pull it out of a pack, so they have no idea what it's worth. And you watch it appear on eBay, it's like $1 million, accepting offers, or best offer. And so people will give offers, if it's a high-end card, a Kobe and Michael Jordan on one card. And so they'll, the big timers will come in with their hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then you get kind of a window and you can accept the best bid. So it's very common to see stuff like this. $1,249 chip sell for $850. And by the way, while we're on this chip, I love this chip, by the way, because it's Dunes. And there's a picture of the hotel from 1965. It's one of my favorite Dunes chips. It's absolutely stunning. So while we're on this chip, if you are interested in researching eBay, you're kind of a nerd like me, there's a place called 130 Point. Let me make sure I actually have it open here on my laptop. Yeah, it's 130point.com. And you go to the sales, eBay sales, and then you can type in the name of the item that was sold or the best offer was accepted, and it will show you what the best offer was. So I recommend 130 Point. It's free. At the making of this video, it's free. So really useful tool to understand what things go for, and you can understand the market better with that. So that was number 3, the Dunes $5. Beautiful chip. And like I said earlier in the year, one of the limitations of 130 Point is it's only recent. It's only like a month and a half. Is it 1 month or a month? It's like a short window. So if you go back, like if you want to, like it's August 2021 at the making of this video. If I went on 130 Point and I'm looking for something back in January, I'm not going to find that. So it's just recent sales on eBay. So we're moving on to number 2. Now this is one that puzzles me. This is one I just don't know about because I don't have the tools to really study this. There's a chip that's called the Senate Club. And it has this big long history and they wrote a lot of information about it. And it looks like a paranoid chip. And it sold for $910, a high bid. And that was on the 20th of August of this year, 2021. So I don't know about the Senate Club. I'm just not familiar with it. But it's a really pretty awesome chip. So let me know if you know more about the Senate Club in the comments below. Is it, something that's really common? And I don't know how far back like Chip Guide goes. I don't know if they go back into like really old pre-legal gambling in Nevada. Now, the last one. Okay, number 1. Now we have one of the really cool chips on this list, and the one that sold for the most. The Bonanza Hotel and Casino, 1967. I love that name, Bonanza. It's like the film. So this sold early this month, the 6th of August, 2021, for $1,825. It was just open bidding up to that wonderful price. So one of the things that first stood out to me about this chip is I love that 3-layered inlay. I love it. I also love the small crown mold and how it just works, and the color. It's just a really interesting kind of screaming Wild West is what I expect from Nevada chip. It's just so interesting to see that chip. And so, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that sold for $1,825. Just an absolutely stunning chip. Now, there are some honorable mention things that I want to mention here. There is a really beautiful 1962 small key mold Holiday Inn Reno. So just Holiday Inn Reno, $25. That's canceled. And that sold for $721 in July, so last month, so not in the realm of this high roller. But that's a really interesting chip because that particular chip isn't in Chip Guide. There's not a photo of it. And so I've been looking for those chips, and it was good to see like an actual listing of one where I could actually see, oh, this is what that chip looks like. Beautiful. The other thing I want to talk about that I always find interesting is Mapes Casino chips, right? So I collect Mapes chips. I have 1s and 5s, and I also have the Money Tree, the other one that's associated with Mapes, small crown mold chips. And I watched a $25, this was this month, so a Mapes $25 chip, not in perfect condition. Usually, okay, so let's set the stage here. Usually I see Mapes $25 chips sell for $30s or $40, right? So anywhere from like $44 is something that I would expect, $36, something that I would expect to be in that range. One sold for $26, which seems like a good price. Not like, like blow your head off good, but a good price. Mapes $5 chips normally sell for 50s, 56, 59, 55, right in that range. And so it's funny how like Mapes is one of those where there's so much demand because people want just racks and racks and racks of 5s and 1s that sometimes the 25s get passed over. And they're just like, oh, well, we're going to pay more for a $5 Mapes than a $25. I thought that was interesting, something that I've been seeing for a while now. I just wanted to point that out while we're talking about chips. The other thing that I think is fun, all right, so this is another thing that I love. In 2003, they made a $200, I'm exaggerating here, hyperbole. They made this huge $200 Silver Strike. And it was lots of fun, and then there was one from Palms, and I think they both sell for the same price. And it was like $400. It was like $475. It was right up there, right? And I was like, wow, $200 chips sell for that. And then you go down a little bit on the eBay like sold listings, and you find that they make a $300 Silver Strike, and this was 2021, and they sell for $415. Which I thought was fascinating. So is it the same amount of silver? They're just paying for that, almost 20-year-old slots of fun and Palms, no longer in production, no longer being minted Silver Strikes. Either way, I love the idea of these big silver plates, Silver Strikes of like lots of silver. It just makes me happy to think about. So anyway, those were some other honorable mentions that I wanted to bring up, some things that I thought were fun to discuss. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts about any of this stuff. If you've seen some amazing sales, write it in the comments below, or go to the About tab and use my email address and email me some of the interesting sales that you've seen or some of the interesting acquisitions that you've made. I hope you like this. If you like this or not, let me know, thumbs up or thumbs down, or leave a comment down below. And let me know if you want me to do something similar to this about casino chip lots or sets. Because there are lots, no pun intended, of lots and sets that sell on eBay for interesting prices. Everything from like classic Paulson, THC, World Top Hat and Cane, to used obsolete casino chips, to canceled casino chip like lots. So it's interesting. Let me know if you're interested in that. As usual, you can support me on Patreon. Thanks to all my patrons. I always write private messages to each patron asking if they want their name in the credits. No pressure to have your name in the credits, but if you would like, I'm happy to do it. And you can support this channel by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe.